Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a world that's, well, traditionally been seen as maybe a bit buttoned up, perhaps a little staid. We're talking about wealth management, the registered investment advisors, RIAs, and multifamily offices, MFOs, that handle your money, your legacy. But let me tell you, things are anything but staid right now. Underneath that sort of calm, polished surface, there's this huge shift happening. It's putting the entire landscape under what some are calling unprecedented pressure.
That's absolutely right. It's a really fascinating moment for these firms. You've got this perfect storm, really, of rapid tech innovation, changing client expectations, and pretty fierce competition from, well, a whole new breed of players. What worked even just a few years back, it just won't cut it today, let alone tomorrow.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why we're doing this digital deep dive today. Our mission really is to unpack how technology is fundamentally reshaping this space. We're drawing heavily from recent industry analyses, particularly some insights from the Mesh Digital team on what they call the dual mandate facing RIAs and MFOs. We really want to get you up to speed quickly on why digital transformation isn't just, an option anymore. It's truly a critical imperative for survival and for growth. So, yeah, let's dig in.
Okay. And if we look at the bigger picture here, these traditional wealth management firms, many with really deep roots in banking, trust services, investment advising, they are really feeling the squeeze. The challenge is stark, almost existential, you could say. It's basically evolve dramatically or face a very real risk of becoming, well, obsolete. But this intense pressure, it isn't just a threat. It's also a powerful catalyst. It's giving rise to some incredibly interesting, sometimes surprising, new operating models.
Yeah, and one of the most provocative and transformative trends we're seeing is the emergence of this hybrid RIA model. Think of it as trying to offer, the best of both worlds. On one hand, you get that highly personalized, truly fiduciary advice from an RIA where the advisor absolutely must act solely in your best interest. And then on the other hand, you combine that with the really comprehensive services and frankly, the stability you'd normally expect from a bigger financial institution. It's about blending that independent advice with institutional muscle.
Exactly. And what's really compelling here is the appeal this has for clients, especially high net worth individuals, multi-generational families. They're increasingly seeking what the industry calls holistic solutions. Mm-hmm. So this isn't just about managing a stock portfolio anymore. Not at all. It means everything from, complex estate planning, trust administration, philanthropic strategies, even intricate tax services, all integrated seamlessly under one roof. The hybrid model, it promises deeper, more enduring client relationships because it lets advisors handle a much broader spectrum of needs. They shift from just being an investment manager to, well, more like a true financial orchestrator for the whole family.
Right. But, like with any big innovation, there's often that double-edged sword, isn't there? Well, it sounds great. This hybrid model definitely isn't without its significant challenges. And these are really crucial for firms to navigate properly. The biggest concern, I think, for clients and regulators, it's that potential for conflicts of interest.
Absolutely. When you start blending pure fiduciary services, where the duty is 100% to the client with non-fiduciary services, maybe from the firm's wider banking or insurance arm, it can create a gray area. You might wonder, if you're the client whose interest is really being served with every recommendation, is it truly my best interest? Or is there maybe an incentive for the firm to push its own products?
That immediately brings up the whole issue around custody challenges, right? Which can get pretty complicated operationally.
Oh, very much so. Imagine a firm managing trust accounts right alongside non-trust accounts. There's a critical distinction between omnibus and fully disclosed custody. Omnibus custody, think of it like a big shared bank account held in the firm's name. Your assets are pooled with others. It's efficient, sure, because the custodian sees the firm's total holdings, not necessarily every single client's individual stock or bond. But it can obscure things a bit.
Right. So efficient, maybe, but the actual custodian doesn't necessarily see your specific ownership of every single security.
Exactly. Then you have fully disclosed custody. This is more like having your own dedicated sub-account for every single asset. It makes it crystal clear to everyone where everything is, with your name explicitly attached. Provides fantastic transparency, granular detail, but it's way more operationally intensive for the firm and the custodian.
Okay.
So firms need to choose really carefully. They've got to align their setup with their fiduciary duties and how they want to handle client assets, especially with different account types. Plus, navigating that complex web of compliance requirements from all the different regulatory bodies, SEC, the FINRA, banking overseers.
Right.
That can lead to higher costs and big operational hurdles if it's not managed meticulously. It's a real regulatory maze out there.
When you lay it all out like that, it just becomes so clear that technology isn't just a nice to have anymore. Not at all. It's truly foundational, a fundamental change in how MFOs and RIAs operate, how they structure themselves, and critically, how they actually engage with you, the client.
Absolutely. And for a long time, particularly for those smaller to medium-sized firms, getting access to really high-quality enterprise-grade tech was a huge barrier, a massive one. They were often stuck choosing between, clunky, outdated software or these prohibitively expensive solutions built for the giants. It was a real disadvantage.
Yeah, they were often sort of left behind, weren't they?
They were. But that's precisely what's changing so fast now. More accessible, high-quality tech is genuinely leveling the playing field. And this isn't just about adding a new tool to the old toolbox. It's about transforming the very fabric of how these firms work. Embracing technology isn't just advisable for staying competitive, it's completely non-negotiable. It lets firms automate routine stuff, which dramatically enhances operational efficiency, frees up valuable human time. It helps reduce errors through automation, smart checks critical when you're dealing with large sums. It lets them make truly data-driven decisions with insights they just didn't have before. And, maybe most importantly, it allows for a level of personalization that traditional manual methods simply cannot match. Imagine tailoring every communication, every report, every piece of advice to your precise needs and preferences. That's the power we're talking about.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me. What are these specific tech solutions, the ones forming the absolute backbone of modern wealth management? We're definitely not talking about simple spreadsheets anymore, are we?
No, not at all. We're talking about genuinely sophisticated, often deeply integrated systems. Things like advanced portfolio management systems, giving you real-time data, instant analytics, granular control. Then you've got customer relationship management, CRM systems, but specifically tailored for the complex needs of high net worth clients, giving that 360-degree view of every interaction, every preference.
Right.
And of course, specialized financial planning software, robust risk management tools to actually quantify and mitigate exposure, and a whole suite of compliance software.
Oh, yes, compliance.
And speaking of compliance, RegTech, that robust compliance software, is utterly vital, especially with that complex, shifting regulatory landscape we mentioned. It helps automate the, frankly, mind-numbing task of tracking constant rule changes, ensuring firms stay compliant while managing vast amounts of sensitive client data. But absolutely paramount to all of this, especially as everything gets more digital and data flows more freely, is state-of-the-art cybersecurity solutions.
Oh, absolutely critical.
In a world where data breaches are, like daily headlines, protecting sensitive client financial data isn't just a best practice. It's the absolute foundation of trust. The sophistication of cyber threats today, it makes this a top priority for the firms and, frankly, for you as the client.
What really stands out for me is how AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning are pushing way beyond just basic automation now into totally new areas. We're seeing them enable incredibly powerful predictive analytics, identifying subtle market trends, maybe even generating personalized investment strategies that adapt dynamically to your goals, your risk tolerance, even your life stage.
Yes.
This isn't about AI replacing the human advisor, is it? It sounds more like it's making them, supervisors.
That's a critical point, and it's where that magical client experience really starts to emerge. AI can significantly ease an advisor's workload, make them more productive. Imagine AI automatically transcribing meeting notes or generating concise bullet points and action items right from a conversation, or even providing context mapping, quick summaries of all past client communications, flagging proactive alerts for, say, upcoming anniversaries or maybe important market shifts relevant to that client.
Wow.
This automation, it frees advisors from tedious admin, lets them focus squarely on the judgment side of their work. They can spend more time on deep analysis, complex problem solving, and crucially, deepening those personal client relationships, becoming true confidants, not just data processors. And this operational automation, powered by AI and ML, it really slashes human error and boosts overall efficiency.
That sounds like a genuine game changer. And thinking about enhancing client engagement, these modern digital platforms seem key, not just a basic website, right? We're talking modern client portals, intuitive dashboards, and maybe native app store apps, often white labeled to match the firm's brand.
Exactly. These aren't just about convenience. They give you, the client, real-time access to your portfolios. Plus, interactive tools for financial planning, secure, personalized communication channels. It all needs to be seamless and responsive. This isn't just about transparency, though that's important. It genuinely strengthens that advisor-client bond, makes financial management feel more collaborative, more engaging.
Okay.
Now, what's fascinating here, and it's a major strategic choice for firms, is how they actually implement all this tech. Do they try to, cobble things together, integrating various best-of-breed tools from different vendors, or do they take the much more ambitious path, building our own tech for a fully integrated proprietary system?
Right. The build versus buy dilemma,
Right.
essentially.
Kind of. The patchwork approach, cobbling things together, it can offer flexibility, maybe lower initial cost. But often it leads to integration headaches, data silos where systems just don't talk to each other, ongoing maintenance nightmares. It's like building a custom car by just bolting on parts from different places. They might work, but they might also, groan and squeak. And the check engine light might always be on.
I can just imagine the IT team's frustration with that.
Precisely. The we build it ourselves approach, though, aims for true seamlessness. It's a massive upfront investment, no doubt, in money and time. But it offers complete control, ensures everything plays nice, provides truly seamless access to data and tools across the whole firm. And this approach lets firms build unique differentiators right into their platform. For example, some have built highly specialized equity comp tools just for clients with complex equity compensation, stock options, RSUs, that sort of thing. That allows for really precise modeling and planning around those complex assets, which needs way more specialized insight than your standard portfolio tool.
Okay. So stepping back, what does this all mean for the wider wealth management industry? This digital transformation isn't just internal, right? It's fueling some huge industry-wide trends.
Absolutely. First, we're seeing really significant M&A consolidation. Mergers and acquisitions are happening at an unprecedented rate. Why? Well, firms are trying to gain the size and scale needed to offer those expanded holistic services we talked about, comprehensive tax planning, sophisticated estate strategies, philanthropic advice, things clients now demand. Building all that expertise and infrastructure in-house. It's incredibly expensive, very difficult, especially for smaller independent firms.
So technology helps glue it all together after a merger.
Exactly. Tech helps integrate these diverse offerings and all that client data seamlessly post-acquisition. It makes those holistic solutions actually viable at scale. And this ties directly into the great wealth transfer. This demographic tidal wave that's already starting. We're looking at an estimated 84.4 trillion migrating from boomers to younger generations. And these next-gen clients, they aren't passive bystanders. Oh no, a staggering 86% are already actively involved in their family offices.
Wow, 86%.
Yeah, and their demands, they're different. They expect seamless tech integration in everything financial, and they prioritize social impact and sustainability in their investments much more than previous generations did. Technology lets MFOs adapt to these new priorities and efficiently manage these increasingly complex, diversified portfolios that might include alternatives or impact strategies. It's how they can track, report, and actually demonstrate that a client's money isn't just growing, but, doing good according to their values.
And beyond assets and generations, we're also seeing this clear professionalization of family offices, right? Moving from maybe informal setups to more formalized institutional practices.
Definitely. Many are moving rapidly away from informal, sometimes ad hoc structures. They're adopting clear governance, implementing rigorous reporting, hiring specialized talent, using the same kind of sophisticated risk management frameworks you'd see at a large financial institution. Technology underpins all of this, from internal operations to how these family offices engage with the wider financial ecosystem. And this shift puts an even bigger spotlight on security. It's really notable that 31% of next-gen family office members specifically prioritize cybersecurity as they step into leadership.
That makes sense.
It's no longer just about protecting the money. It's about protecting the data representing the money and the whole family's digital footprint. This professionalization, driven by market demands and tech capabilities, it's fundamentally about building robust, sustainable infrastructure, not just to serve current clients better, but to compete effectively for new ones and attract top industry talent. It's really shaping the future of finance, making these firms more resilient, more transparent, and ultimately more aligned with what clients need.
So let's bring this back. What does all this mean for you, our listener? Whether you're a seasoned investor, someone planning carefully for retirement, or maybe just starting to build wealth. Understanding these huge technological shifts is absolutely crucial. Crucial for anyone seeking comprehensive, effective wealth management today. It helps you figure out which firms are genuinely future ready and which might be, well, stuck in the past.
That's exactly right. The future here isn't just about having an advisor or just having a fancy app. It's not either. It's about a deliberate blend, a hybrid and tech-powered future, where that irreplaceable value of personalized human insight meets the incredible efficiency and analytical power of robust technology. This fusion, it offers a more integrated, a much more efficient, and ultimately a far more client-centric experience than we've ever really seen before.
Right. And as technology keeps embedding itself deeper and deeper into wealth management, here's maybe a provocative thought for you to mull over. How will the very definition of personal connection evolve in this increasingly digital world? Will it mean maybe less FaceTime, but perhaps more profound, data informed insights delivered seamlessly? And what entirely new opportunities might that create for both advisors and for you, the client, in the years ahead?